El escándalo de abuso sexual que sacudió al deporte estadounidense hace unos años parece estar cerca de terminar, al menos para la justicia de ese país, ya que 3 años después de que el médico del equipo olímpico, Nassar, fuera sentenciado a 2 penas de entre 40 y 125 años por abuso sexual y otra más de 60 por pornografía infantil, la Comisión de Asuntos Jurídicos del Senado estadounidense ha comenzado una investigación por el mal manejo del caso por parte del Buró Federal de Investigación, es decir, el FBI.
Why did you make me hate the one thing I love so much? Why did you take my dreams away from me? Why did you make it where I can't trust my own doctors?
How dare you ask any of us for forgiveness? And how dare you act like you care for a second about our healing?
El Senado del país de las barras y las estrellas busca responsabilizar o, en su caso, deslindar a los agentes encargados de la investigación del caso, que comenzó en 2015 y en el que demoraron casi 2 años para proceder contra el médico abusador. Tal es el caso de la medallista olímpica de oro Michaela Maroney, quien aseguró que el FBI no solo demoró en presentar el informe sobre su declaración, sino que falsificó su testimonio.
What I'm trying to bring to your attention today is something incredibly disturbing and illegal. After telling my entire story of abuse to the FBI in the summer of 2015, not only did the FBI not report my abuse, but when they eventually documented my report 17 months later, they made entirely false claims about what I said. After reading the Office of Inspector General's OIG report, I was shocked and deeply disappointed at this narrative they chose to fabricate. They chose to lie about what I said and protect a serial child molester rather than protect not only me, but countless others. My story is one in which Special Agent in Charge Jay Abbott and his subordinates did not want you to hear, and it's time that I tell you.
It was during this time, I estimate I was approximately 6 years old, that Larry Nassar began to sexually abuse me. Due to complex details that I won't get into here, my parents chose to believe Larry Nassar over me.
You use my innocent body as your sexual play toy.
We seek justice, we deserve justice, and we will have it.
You broke and shattered a lot of girls.
El caso, desde su inicio, ha tenido muchas inconsistencias, comenzando porque US Gymnastics, la federación de la especialidad, recibió el primer reporte de abuso por parte del médico en el verano de 2015, y no solo engañó a la gimnasta y a su entrenadora con que daría seguimiento, sino que tardó 5 meses en reportarlo al FBI, procedimiento que están obligados a realizar de forma inmediata, como explicó Maggie Nichols, gimnasta quien realizó la primera denuncia.
I was named as Gymnast 2 in the Office of Inspector General's report and previously identified as Athlete A by USA Gymnastics. I want everyone to know that this did not happen to Gymnast 2 or to Athlete A. It happened to me, Maggie Nichols. USA Gymnastics and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee and the FBI have all betrayed me and those who were abused by Larry Nassar after I reported. The cover-up of my abuse and the FBI's failure to interview me for more than a year after my complaint are well documented in the OIG report. After I reported my abuse to USA Gymnastics, my family and I were told by their former president, Steve Penny, to keep quiet and not say anything that could hurt the FBI investigation. We now know there was no real FBI investigation occurring.
she felt violated, that I was doing, like I touched her breast and that I moved her underwear out of the way, and I'm like, yeah, I do that all the time. If there was arousal, it's it would be because of whatever, I don't know, but I'm not trying to,
I don't know.
When you're a guy, sometimes you get an erection.
La principal agencia de investigación en Estados Unidos fue una de las instituciones que falló en detener los abusos del médico del equipo olímpico una vez denunciados, ya que también estuvieron involucrados US Gymnastics y el Comité Olímpico y Paralímpico estadounidense. Ninguna de las partes involucradas hizo algo para prevenir que Nassar siguiera abusando de jóvenes durante el tiempo de la investigación. Steve Penny, quien era el presidente ejecutivo de la US Gymnastics, se declaró inocente de destruir o esconder evidencia e incluso de conspiración en 2015, y sorprendentemente no fue destituido, sino que se retiró en 2017 con bonos de más de $1 millón. Además, al ser cuestionado en el juicio contra Nassar, se apegó a la quinta enmienda, que defiende el derecho a no declarar.
Mr. Chairman, with respect to you and your question and the committee, I have been instructed by my attorney to assert my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Pero Penny ha sido señalado como la conexión directa con el FBI, además de que una investigación privada pagada por las gimnastas involucradas en el caso arrojó que Penny le ofreció ayuda para un puesto en el Comité Olímpico a Jay Abbott, agente encargado de la investigación.
How a survivor's healing is affected by the handling of their abuse. And it disgusts me that we are still fighting for the most basic answers and accountability over 6 years later. The FBI failed to interview pertinent parties in a timely manner. It took over 14 months for the FBI to contact me, despite my many requests to be interviewed by them. The records establish that Steve Penny, FBI agent Jay Abbott, and their subordinates worked to conceal Nassar's crimes. Steve Penny arranged with the FBI to conduct my interview at the Olympic Training Center, where I was under the control and observation of USA Gymnastics and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee. The day of my interview, Steve Penny flew to the Olympic Training Center, and he made sure I was aware he was there. Special agent in charge of investigating Nassar met Steve Penny for beers to discuss job opportunities in the Olympic movement. The FBI and others within both USAG and USOPC knew that Nassar molested children and did nothing to restrict his access. Steve Penny and any USAG employee could have walked a few steps to file a report with the Indiana Child Protective Services since they shared the same building. Instead, they quietly allowed Nassar to slip out the side door, knowingly allowing him to continue his work at MSU, Sparrow Hospital, a USAG club, and even run for school board. Nassar found more than 100 new victims to molest. It was like serving innocent children up to a pedophile on a silver platter.
En su declaración ante el Senado, la gimnasta más ganadora de la historia, Simone Biles, declaró y culpó directamente a las instituciones de haber permitido el abuso en su contra y de cientos de mujeres más.
Over the course of my gymnastics career, I have won 25 World Championship medals and 7 Olympic medals for Team USA. That record means so much to me, and I am proud of my representation of this nation through gymnastics. I am also a survivor of sexual abuse, and I believe without a doubt that the circumstances that led to my abuse and allowed it to continue are directly the result of the fact that the organizations created by Congress to oversee and protect me as an athlete, USA Gymnastics and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee failed to do their jobs. To be clear, I blame Larry Nassar, and I also blame an entire system that enabled and perpetrated his abuse. USA Gymnastics and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee knew that I was abused by their official team doctor long before I was ever made aware of their knowledge.
Además del FBI, en el caso también están implicados la Universidad Estatal de Michigan, donde Nassar trabajó desde 1996, y el gimnasio Twisters, cuyo dueño, John Gethert, fue procesado por tráfico de personas y agresión sexual, aunque el mismo día que debía entregarse a las autoridades, se suicidó. Mientras que otro de los agentes del FBI, acusado por mentir en la investigación, Michael Lengeman, fue separado de su cargo hace apenas unas semanas.
Truly inspired us. I will never forget the moment that we stood in the Kennedy caucus room. There were 40 or more of you, and you told us that you had been failed repeatedly by institutions that were supposed to protect you. And you called on us to keep our word. Today's hearing is another step in our keeping the promise that we made to you then, that we would work to hold accountable the institutions that failed you and to reform them and make sure that this kind of wrongdoing, more than wrongdoing, heinous, hideous abuse never happens again. We have investigated and produced a report. We've asked the Inspector General to investigate as well, and he has produced a report. And let me just come right to the reason we're here today. It's not only that the FBI failed to do its job systematically and repeatedly, it is also the cover-up that occurred afterward, when FBI agents made material false statements and deceptive omissions.
Tras el testimonio de las gimnastas, varios miembros del Senado ofrecieron disculpas a los cientos de sobrevivientes de abuso, mientras la investigación sigue en curso y donde ya ha declarado el director del FBI, Christopher Wray, señalando los errores cometidos por la agencia en la investigación, dejando ver el riesgo que tuvo la condena de Nassar debido a la información falsa de los agentes.
On behalf of the entire FBI, I want to begin by saying to the brave women who testified here this morning, Ms. Biles, Ms. Maroney, Ms. Nichols, and Ms. Raisman, and I gather there were some others here today who were among the many who Nassar hurt. I'm deeply and profoundly sorry to each and every one of you. I'm sorry for what you and your families have been through. I'm sorry that so many different people let you down over and over again. And I'm especially sorry that there were people at the FBI who had their own chance to stop this monster back in 2015 and failed. And that is inexcusable. It never should have happened, and we're doing everything in our power to make sure it never happens again.
En octubre declararán otras dos personas clave en la investigación, las agentes Mary Garland y Lisa Monaco, con papeles fundamentales en el caso.
Well, I'm gonna have to get stuff
If over these many years just one adult listened,
and had the courage and character to act, this tragedy could have been avoided.